When you can see the new forms and appreciate what's now showing up in your life, now you can love what is as it is. And that's where you heal and grow. And that's a challenge for people because if you get stuck in it, I'm only attracted to the old form, then you're not going to love and appreciate what's showing up in your life currently. And that's where the healing really begins, is really seeing that no matter what you've done or not done, no matter what I've attracted or not attracted, I'm worthy of having an amazing life. No matter who comes and goes in your life, I'm still having an amazing life because there's nothing missing. You're always attracting the exact forms that you need every time.
I always get a little teary when truth. Thank you so much for joining us on another awesome episode of Bioenergetics Beat. I'm Heather Gray, a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner and certified bioenergetic practitioner, and today is brought to you by Nikki, Unleash the Wellness Within. It's a non-invasive, highly effective approach to optimize wellness. It's a wearable device that puts frequency better-based life in your hands and on your wrist. Make sure to stick to the very end because we have a wonderful giveaway you're not going to want to miss out on. But as usual, you're not going to want to miss out on one word that my next guest has to say. He's a personal friend of mine. He's also my practitioner. I've gotten to know him really well here in Puerto Vallarta and just absolutely love all the work that he's doing. So I'm so excited to share him with you all. Without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Dave Tuck
All
to the
right.
show.
Yeah, lovely to be here. Thank you. Great seeing you. I appreciate the invite. This is been looking forward to our conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely. So usually there's some sort of a purpose, pain to purpose why we're talking about different things. Like, not too many practitioners are talking about grief and gratitude and all these different things. So I would love to learn a little bit about your background, and why you're talking about these certain topics.
Got it. Well, just briefly, I've spent 32 years in the wellness industry. Started out my career as a chiropractor, working in North Texas, and had clinics in Texas and Colorado. For about 25 of those years, I really got into studying and being certified in working with the mind body, doing integration work with helping people shift their perceptions in order to heal their body, learning how to ask quality questions, learning how to navigate tricky, challenging life transitions, and to move through those effectively to be able to get to the other side and have a clear vision for themselves of what they want for their life and to how to look at the challenges in life and how to learn those from those challenges to use that as fuel to grow and to do what you love doing. And for me, I had an experience 5 years ago. As I was going through life, my wife at the time suddenly passed away, and so I was thrown into the opportunity to have grief through that experience, which is where I think a lot of our grief comes from. When I work with clients, it's usually from a death of a loved one, or it can also be any perceived loss, whether it's a loved one or an opportunity or money or health, can create grief within someone. So that kind of catalyzed me to really dive into more of the grief as I've gone through it myself and use this work that I've done and help people navigate. I had to be my own client and work through it by navigating a pretty challenging grief experience in my life.
Thank you so much for sharing. I don't know how I forgot that story, but I remember sitting at the coffee shop when you were
Yeah.
telling me and like starting to cry because yeah. Um, we're gonna need to edit this part, but you keep hitting whatever surface yeah,
Oh,
taking your on your phone. So yeah, you might want to stop doing that because it's shaking the message. All right, so well, I'm thank you so much for expressing that with us. When you were going through this journey, did you find a lot of resources out there, or did you kind of had to stumble through things yourself? Like, how did you come into this work, particularly?
well, I was studying this work for 25 years or so, helping people, and I had many clients that I had helped navigate through grief of a loved one or an opportunity. And so I kind of knew the work and I knew the mechanics of how to get people through it. I had just never gone through it my own self. And so, and when it happened, I knew exactly what to do. 'Cause I'm like, okay, I'm going to do what I to help others do. So I had other facilitators that I've been trained with, and I said, "Hey, let's do the work that I know works. Let me be a student of the work." And I dove right into doing the work that I know helps people navigate grief. And so it was a really great opportunity for me to grow and really see firsthand experience how this type of work can help people navigate any kind of challenge such as grief grief and move through it with gratitude.
That's incredible. What a beautiful story of resilience and becoming a student of the work. I said most people get into it after they've gone through something. So how awesome for you that you were like, I already knew this existed. I already had the tools. A lot of us are kind of searching in the dark, bumping up against
Yeah.
things before we really find stuff. So what a blessing for you. Grief gets stored in the body in different ways. Can you tell us a little bit more about the mechanism of grief?
Yeah, I mean, because we all have our different belief systems, different set of values, every one of us filter the world differently because of how we think. Grief gets stored in different areas for different people. Everyone's different. And so it's not a cookie cutter model. So that's why, as I'm working with someone in grief, we're looking at their specific, unique expression of how they're storing that emotion in their body. And so grief is as a feedback for someone that's trying to let you know that, hey, there's something here to heal. Grief is it's another opportunity for us to learn and grow. Just like every experience that we have in our life from birth to present day, every experience has nuggets of wisdom and learning within it to help us grow and to give us more information about ourselves. We don't experience a challenge without it being something that we drew into our life for us to grow from and learn. So for me, as I was learning and going through the grief, I knew that this would be something that as I'm learning, I'm going to be sharing and teaching because there's no mistake in attracting this type of experience because I'm here to teach. And I knew that if I learn this and learn how to navigate this myself, I'm going to be able to help others do the same.
Oh, absolutely. It's that whole expression. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And it can seem
Exactly.
like a really cruel and cold thing to say to somebody when they're going through something tragic, a death of a loved one, a death of a child, a violent crime, but really when we take ownership of these things and look at it in that aspect, we can get our power back, right? We can learn from it and we can grow from it instead of staying stuck in it.
Yeah, and it forces us to break free of old patterns of thinking that maybe we were taught like I know I heard that we're supposed to grieve and it takes a long time to get through it and if you don't grieve there's something wrong and all these stigmas that society has on death and navigating grief and it requires us to really step out of that and get into our own individual belief systems and get to know ourselves more because how you navigate a challenge is how you navigate a challenge, not necessarily anyone else does it, but your own unique journey and your own unique learning. So that's why I love working with clients going through it because it's such a unique expression and experience that everyone comes out on the other side learning something and growing in a different way.
Absolutely. So I was always kind of made to believe, not made to believe, but from the Chinese acupuncture and medicine point of view, they say grief is stored in the lungs, but you're saying grief can be stored anywhere.
It depends on the person's, yeah, it's all about the meaning you put behind the grief. Everyone has a different meaning that you might put on grief. For me, the main thing that happened to me was it was a stability. I all of a sudden felt like, oh my gosh, my whole stability was just shattered, right? For someone else, it might be, oh my gosh, now I'm feeling like I'm lost and alone. And that's going to be, it's going to be stored differently in your physiology based on the meaning that you put on it, which is then based on your value system and your own belief system. So everyone's different. Again, there's no cookie cutter. You have grief, that means it's here. It's not the case, I found. It's different for everyone.
Okay, okay. Well, no, thank you for that explanation. That totally makes sense. So I was saying before that you're my practitioner as well. And when I met you, I was kind of coming in hot, going through
Yeah.
my own grief with the loss of a pet, a loss of a
Mm.
job, a move to a new country, a divorce. Like my adrenals were fried. You did a couple points on me. You could tell that my adrenals were fried. My body was just like done. And you gave me some homework, and I've seen you regularly now for 3 months. And this last checkup was so much better and there was improvement. And so it's so awesome to see that too, and I'm also doing breath work at home and doing sound therapy with my tuning forks and focusing really on the adrenals. When you see, I know you say it shows up differently for everybody, but do you see like a pattern when it comes to grief that this is the areas that it has a tendency to affect the most? And like, or how does a person know that they're experiencing symptoms of grief and it's showing up physically? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Grief is a perception of of loss. Okay. And so one of the laws that's important to really understand is there's nothing ever lost or gained. There's only a transformation of energy. And I think for the average thinking person who doesn't understand that, it could be a stretch to understand that. This is why we go through the work, the exercise to demonstrate how that's true. But if you really know that there's nothing ever lost or gained, it just changes form. So when you are perceiving a loss of a person, of a pet, of an opportunity, of a business, of finances, the question you want to ask yourself is, where is the new form showing up now? What am I missing about the old form of person or opportunity? And where is this new form showing up now? For instance, can I give you an example? So
Please.
if you say lost a loved one and you're missing, I really miss our conversations because we had really deep conversations. Where are those new conversations showing up now in your life? Because nothing's missing, it just changes form. And when you can start to ask those quality questions, you can start to see that, oh, wow, I'm no longer missing the old form because I see it in the new form because it's showing up. And then the question is, how is this new form actually serving me today? How is this new form helping me grow and learn over the old form? And so what you do is if you're infatuated by the old form and think the old form is the only way, the only good form, then you're going to be missing the current form that's in your life, and you're not going to love your life as it is, and you're going to always be stuck in this pattern of my life is not as good as it used to be. And then you're going to stay stuck in revolution and not grow. When you can see the new forms and appreciate what's now showing up in your life, now you can love what is as it is. And that's where you heal and grow. And that's a challenge for people because if you get stuck in it, I'm only attracted to the old form, then you're not going to love and appreciate what's showing up in your life currently. And that's where the healing really begins, is really seeing that no matter what you've done or not done, no matter what I've attracted or not attracted, I'm worthy of having an amazing life. No matter who comes and goes in your life, I'm still having an amazing life because there's nothing missing. You're always attracting the exact forms that you need every time.
I always get a little teary when truth, it's just kind of one of my signs.
Yeah.
Truth is being told. Yeah, I get a little teary. I get moved. I'm like, mic drop, Dr. Dave. So beautifully put. Thank you. One of the things that I was always impressed with your work too, I call him the body whisperer. So it's like I said, I came in and not only did he find out these things about my body without doing any labs, but then the chiropractic adjustment he did afterwards is like butter. Like anytime people put their hands
Mhm.
on me, usually because I'm coming in hot and my body is guarded, there's no warm up. It's a really hard to adjust me, and it's painful, and it's not pleasant, but I do it because I need it. But him, like he goes in there after he does this body work on me, and it's just like butter. The body's like, okay, I'll release. Okay, I'll give it up. Sure. What do you want me to do now? Like it's incredible. Tell us a little bit more about how that works.
Well, our physiology, is designed to give us feedback, and we store emotions in our body, whether it's grief, whether it's shame, guilt, regret, whatever the emotion is an imbalanced perception. You only of a one-sided equation. Every experience is has a full quantum, both positive, negatives, up and down, benefits, drawbacks, supports, and challenges. If you only see one side of the equation, you're not seeing the full quantum of an experience, and now you will store that as emotion in your physiology. When you go through and finally see the other side, whereas if you only saw all negative, no positive, all of a sudden you see equality of both sides, you dissolve that emotion and the experience, and it releases from your physiology. So as I'm working on the body, I'm asking questions, finding out where is it stored in the body. And if we find it, we know there's an imbalanced perception there. And that's why I ask the questions I ask when I'm working on something, because we're trying to equal the playing field and balance out that equation. And when you release it, the body relax, the muscles relax, the joints, everything softens. That's why it's easier to do an adjustment on someone after we clear the emotion because they're in a relaxed, integrated state. We're integrating the mind and the body. When you're disintegrated and you're polarized, you have imbalance and you have symptoms and feedback, tension. You have tension in the body and mind. And when you release that tension, now your physiology can relax and respond to treatment.
It's hilarious too, because so he was obviously, talking to my body, asking questions, and he was like, "Oh, got some going on in the heart," and he just like presses on my chest. I was like, "Ow, ow, ow!" Like he's like, "Oh yeah, right here." I was like, "Oh my God, stop doing that!" But by agitating and releasing that contraction, it helps because that's everything. After you lose so much, a lot of times we contract, right? We get kind of small, and in order for things to get better, we need to release all that contraction. So
Hmm.
it's always a blessing, but it was just crazy how he just laser targets like, and it's right here. And I'm, ah!
Well, I think when we get caught in an emotional cycle, like grief, for instance, and we get stuck in the grief emotion, um, it's hard to come out when you're trying to do it on your own if you don't have those tools. That's why it's important to have someone that can go, hey, let's look at this a little different. Let me ask you some different questions. Let's really look at this from a different point of view, change your perception of the experience so that you can actually heal and learn from this experience. Every experience has got nuggets of wisdom all in it if you know how to ask the questions and extrapolate that data. And when you can, now you can grow from every experience. If you have an experience in your past that you haven't learned or grown from, then you will stay stuck in revolution in that experience and in your physiology will store that and you won't grow beyond that. So that's why it's important to really go in there and access the information about what's going on, ask some different questions, shift your perception so you can heal and move forward into and have a more abundant life.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, this is a great spot. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna jump into gratitude. So, and how to, move through grief. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
There's a new word for wellness, Nikki. Nikki is your personal wellness companion, a sleek wearable device that lets you choose from a variety of programs to match your day. With a simple tap on the Nikki screen, you can explore wellness programs created for different moments and lifestyles. Need a lift? Select energy. Looking to unwind? Tap stress and anxiety. Want to feel more at ease? Choose pain. Heading out on a trip? Try travel to help you feel ready for new adventures. From busy mornings to quiet evenings, Nikki puts a variety of wellness experiences right at your fingertips and on your wrist. Life moves fast. Nikki moves with you. It's a portable way to bring wellness technology into your everyday routine, wherever life takes you. Your day, your choice, your wellness program. Nikki Wellness Technology. Delivering frequency enhanced health. We are Nikki.com.
Fantastic. I'm pretty
Good.
excited to talk about gratitude. How about you guys? So, how does gratitude relate to grief and grief work?
When you're having grief of an experience, then you're perceiving more loss than gain, more negative than positive. There's something missing in your life. You're grieving over that loss, right? And anytime you're having a grief over something, then you're not actually in gratitude for that experience or for what's now showing up in your life. And so to shift from gratitude to grief requires you to ask different quality questions, like we said earlier. Another good example of a client who was really grieving over a loss of money because he had money and he lost a lot of money on a deal and he was grieving the loss of that money. And so the quality question that we started diving was, where is the new form of wealth showing up in your life? If you're only attached to the wealth and money form and you don't have it, then you're going to feel depressed about your life. You're going to be feel grieving over your life and what you perceive as missing. So when we really started looking, going, what's the new form of wealth showing up? Well, actually, I have more connection to my wife. Actually, I've got more connection to my work coworkers. Actually, I've been focusing more on my health and well-being. Actually, I feel more calm energetically around XYZ because there was some stress attached to his business. When we started stacking up all those benefits and seeing the new forms, all of a sudden his grief shifted from actually gratitude for the new forms. So he wasn't missing the old form any longer because he realized what was the drawback of having money? Well, it cost me I actually had more stress. People wanted me to buy more things. I paid more taxes. I had more So when we started seeing the drawbacks of the old form and the benefits of the new forms he wasn't recognizing, all of a sudden the emotion around grief dissolved and he became grateful for exactly the forms that are showing up now, what is as it is. When you reach that state of gratitude for what is as it is, and you realize there's nothing missing, there's nothing to grieve over except just have great gratitude for what is, your self-worth goes up. And your self-worth goes up, your net worth goes up. And what happened was he started attracting money again in wealth and money form again because he started feeling worthy of it. When you're stuck in grief, your self-worth is low because you feel your life is not as good without it. And when you see gratitude for what is as it is, you now open yourself up to deserving and giving yourself permission to attract abundance again. And for him, it was life-changing when he got to see, because then he wasn't attached to the old form as much. He started appreciating himself more, his family more, his friends more, all the things that were already in his life. He was just so attached to the old form of money that he was missing the things to be grateful for in his life. That
What
makes
is it
sense?
about human nature that does that? Because I know this and I've practiced it for years and I still it's something I have to remind myself of almost a daily basis when I start feeling sorry for myself for, not being where I think I should in life or, missing the things that are lost and then, stopping myself and then remembering all the beautiful things that I'm grateful for. Like, why is this so hard for us?
I think it's because a couple of things. A lot of times we'll have these old belief patterns from our authority figures that taught us, well, this is good and this is bad. This is better, this is worse. And if you don't have it like this, if it doesn't look like this, then it's not good, right? And so if you buy into those old belief systems from those authority figures, then yes, you will look at your life and you'll compare your life
Mm.
to a fantasy of what you think your life should be like. And then you're going to feel less than. You're going to feel depression even because you're comparing your current life to this fantasy that's unrealistic. When you really know yourself and you really know your values and what your authentic expression is, now you can know what's true for you. And that's why I always encourage everyone to forget the script. Who are you? What's important to you? What are your values? What is your vision? What is your authentic expression for you? And when you know that, now you know yourself. And that to me is the highest form of abundance, is knowing yourself, living your authentic expression. And I think when we're in that state of living authentically, there's nothing we can't attract into our life because we're now in a state of gratitude for what is as it is. I think ingratitude is what sabotages so many dreams of our life. It's not being grateful for what is as it is and not appreciating what we already have in our life. There's really nothing missing when we really look at it. It's just when you're thinking that your life would be better if you had something else, then you're going to probably not feel fulfilled. But the truth is, there's nothing outside of you need to attract to feel more fulfilled than what you have. You've got everything you need to have an abundant, amazing life if you just recognize it and appreciate it.
Mm. I'm gonna start calling you Minister Dave. Like
Brother,
Brother Dave,
Brother
you are
Dave.
dropping some wisdom on us today. Like I keep just getting so teared up. I'm like, I should have put makeup on. No, this is just beautiful. And I mean, I feel like the whole episode's just for me. So, no, this is absolutely gorgeous. Can you also tie it back to your own personal story? Like, what were some of the lessons that you needed to see? How were they showing up in new forms after you had lost your wife, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, no problem, man. I think for me, you know, um, there was a vision that we had created together for here's what we're going to do for the rest of our lives, right? So I had this form that this is what it was going to be like. And so when she passed, everything kind of changed. So
Mm.
I had to literally go, okay, what's my new form of vision that I want for my life now? What does it look like this? Because it's just me now. And it really forced me to really get centered in myself and allow myself to have a new vision for my life. It was an identity shift. And so many, if we think about our lives, we're always, every so often we go through these identity shifts. We go through these transitions in life, these challenges that show up that are there to actually help us grow. And so we can learn how to navigate these transitions by finding out the learning, then we can have it happen more smoothly. And so for me, when she passed, I really got to come in to myself again and go, okay, who am I now? what is my new vision for my life? What does it mean for me to be an authentic person all by myself? Because I realized my identity was kind of wrapped up in the dynamic, right? My identity was partly in this relationship. So now I had to go and go, okay, who am I all by myself? Just me.
Mm.
And how is that enough? How am I enough all by myself? So I went through a lot of that work of those couple years following to really get clear about giving myself permission to have an amazing life again. Because at first I was like, my life sucks. This is going terrible. I don't know what to do. I'm down and depressed. I'm feeling of grief. I can't move forward. I felt stuck. My whole world was about this big. And
Mm.
as I did the work, all of a sudden my vision kept expanding, expanding, and I gave myself permission to go, wow, there's no limits to what I can have in my life if I just, be true to myself.
Oh, absolutely. And then I hear, you're like, I'm off to Texas and then Colorado to do some speaking here and then speaking there. And then you come back and you take people on these beautiful, beautiful waterfall
See?
meditations and breath work. You are doing these amazing retreats. Like you are living, and I've seen your place. It's gorgeous. I've seen where you work. It's absolutely incredible. Like
Yeah.
I'm just in awe of your life. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I know you wouldn't have been able to get there if you weren't able to do this work. This work is living, you are living proof of this work.
Well, look, if she hadn't have passed when she did, wouldn't be here. It was a catalyst. Every experience is a catalyst for change if you know how to use it to move through it. If you know how to move through it and learn the wisdom around each experience, you can actually use that to move into a different life. And that's kind of that's exactly what I did. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to let this stop me. I'm going to let this fuel me. And I go, what would she want? She's going, hey, Dave, get your ass in gear. Come on, you don't have, this doesn't need to stop you. I'm still here. And
Right,
again, she's everywhere. There's nothing missing. Her form is
right.
still here in just different people in different places, different things. She's not missing. She's just in new forms. And when you know that, it's comforting to realize that she's not gone anywhere. She's just here in different forms, and I can access her energy anytime I want to. And when you have that tool under your belt, there is no grief. There's just gratitude for what is as it is. There's gratitude for our experience together, and there's gratitude for the new forms and the new journey that we're having together. She's just not in the physical form, she's in different forms.
Love it. We're getting close to the end here. Is there like one little takeaway, one little nugget that you can give people, like an action item that they can start doing to start recognizing this and turning their life around?
I think the most important thing that I recommend all my clients do, and we do this work, is go through your life from birth to present moment. Identify any experiences that you might have grief over, that you're perceiving that you've lost something. Identify any shame, any guilt experiences, anything you think that was done wrong to you, anything that's happened in your life that you can't say, I love that experience and I'm grateful for it and I never change it. Write those down because those are the learnings you haven't learned from those experiences yet. You're still holding on to that emotional baggage that will keep you stuck if you haven't learned from those experiences. So I would encourage everyone to go through that and do a self-reflection of anything that you haven't loved in your life. It's time to look at it differently and start loving it so you can grow and to your full potential and self-actualize your life.
Absolutely. So beautifully put again. Another mic drop. I'm like, can I get an amen? All right. So if somebody wants to go with you on these breathwork meditation at the waterfall or retreats or see you speak or work with you, this is the shameless plug time in the show. How can they find you?
I love it when people contact me directly through email or WhatsApp. So email info@drdavetuck.com or message me on WhatsApp at 1-903-814-5283. Those are great ways to connect because every experience is different and unique. So I like to customize everything based around what's needed for the person in that moment in their life. So it's quite transformative when people go through these adventures that I take them on.
Absolutely. Well, I can speak firsthand to his work, and I know I wouldn't be doing as well as I am now after all the loss and everything that I've went through without your support, your guidance, your friendship, and your amazing body whisperer technique. So, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I have so much great gratitude for you, and I had to have you on the show.
Well, I appreciate all the work you're doing and serving and helping others. You're an amazing person, and what the gifts that you have to offer the world are quite amazing. I'm learning more and more about you. It's like, wow, you're a badass. So it's nice to meet you.
Thank you. All right, so make sure to go to the show notes to check out Dr. Dave. Also, make sure to go to wearenikki.com/podcast, enter in BioBeats to get 10% off your Nikki. And because we love our customers so much, the way we show appreciation is we give away a Nikki device and a 1-year membership to our wellness store every month on the show. So make sure to go to the show notes to enter. Good luck. Congratulations to our February winner, Colina Logar. You just won a Nikki device and a 1-year membership to our wellness store. Congratulations. Good luck to everybody else that didn't win. Keep trying, keep listening, and make sure you're sharing, liking, and subscribing because that's how we change people's lives. Thank you for joining us and have a healthy day.
What is the wellness store, you ask? Let me tell you. Imagine a single place where every Nikki Wellness program, present and future, are ready whenever you are. The Nikki Wellness Store turns that vision into reality, offering a membership that keeps you connected to the most complete library of wellness support programs we've ever created. One membership, infinite access. With a Nikki Wellness Store membership, unlimited access to the full Nikki Wellness library, automatic updates as new programs are released, the freedom to create personalized daily playlists on the Nikki Connect app, and we continually design new programs. Your membership will grow with you at no additional cost. Because wellness technology never stops improving, and neither do you. It's more than a membership. Every wellness store membership begins with the purchase of their Nikki Wellness Technology, a wearable device that delivers wellness programs wherever life takes you. Your membership includes 1 full year of unlimited access to the complete wellness library and all future program releases. After the first year, your access continues with a simple annual renewal fee, so your library and collaborations with trusted global innovators keeps growing without interruption. This isn't just an upward, it's a movement toward a future where wellness technology never stops improving because neither do you. Join the movement. The Nikki Wellness Store isn't just a milestone, it's the future of wellness designed for freedom, value, and constant growth. New customers that join us will automatically get 1-year membership to the Nikki Wellness Store. Current customers that have already owned a Nikki, you will be grandfathered in and given a 2-year membership. And that's a thank you for walking with us for all this time.
There's a new word for wellness, Nikki. Nikki is your personal wellness companion, a sleek wearable device that lets you choose from a variety of programs to match your day. With a simple tap on the Nikki screen, you can explore wellness programs created for different moments and lifestyle. Need a lift? Select energy. Looking to unwind? Tap stress and anxiety. Want to feel more at ease? Choose pain. Heading out on a trip? Try travel to help you feel ready for new adventures. From busy mornings to quiet evenings, Nikki puts a variety of wellness experiences right at your fingertips and on your wrist. Life moves fast. Nikki moves with you. It's a portable way to bring wellness technology into your everyday routine, wherever life takes you. Your day, your choice, your wellness program. Nikki Wellness Technology. Delivering frequency-enhanced health. wearenikki.com. The views, information, and opinions expressed in this content are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of Freemedica. Freemedica Technologies, Inc. and its employees are not responsible, nor verifies accuracy any of the information contained in the following content. The primary purpose of this content is to educate and inform. This content does not constitute medical or other professional advice or services.